and with that, what are your thoughts on how the Ahmaud Arbery thing is going?
Yeah, because that's happening right now. This is a very, very interesting day.
Now
to
this
be able
one
to
is
discuss
wild.
This
This is wild,
right?
That's a shit show for real.
It really is an absolute shit show. And
did you hear the thing about the lawyer getting mad at Jesse Jackson?
Oh hell yeah! At Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, he was like, "Yeah, we don't need any more
niggas in here."
Basically, when he said black pastors, that's what he was saying. We don't need any more niggers coming up in here taking out jurisprudence. We don't need none of y'all moon crickets, porch monkeys, and knuckle draggers coming up in here causing all this problem. No. Honestly, in my mind, it's like, dude, you've got to be kidding me that... And even the two white people next to him, it was actually like three white people, one man, two women, but the two women who were the most prominent in that shot when he was speaking were both, the color was drained from their face. Because you could tell they realized what this dude had just said. And the thing is, this dude didn't even skip. He didn't skip a word. He meant to say what he said, and he didn't care at all what he had just said. It's like, dude, are you serious? We don't need any more black pastors coming up. It's specifically black pastors. It's not pastors. It's black pastors. No, I don't want you, like, dude,
you know what's wild? I don't think it was even, like you said, it wasn't about the black pastors. It was about you niggers. I don't need y'all in here messing up this case.
No, exactly. Al Sharpton, whoa. So and Al Sharpton made a very good point. So he's like, so you telling me that we can't be allowed to comfort this family as religious figures, as religious,
figures,
pillars of the religious community, like rabbis, imams, you telling us that we're not allowed to be in the courtroom with this family and to hold them and hug them while they're going through this. That's nuts. And I'm like, that's nuts. And it tells you something about America and religion. It tells you that certain people are free to exercise their religion and certain people aren't actually free to be able to exercise their religion.
Put it like this, if it was the opposite, I always had this idea for a movie, right? Where we go to this alternate universe or something like, basically where white people have to be treated like all the minorities. White people have to be treated like all the minorities. And how funny would this movie would be, basically in this alternate universe, white people would be treated like black people or all the minorities rather. And I always thought, like, how funny would it be if they had to live that day where they don't have the advantages and they are on the opposite end. Like, how funny would it be? I always thought that'd be funny, and then to see the reactions of people,
to see how people react to it. To show people, because sometimes people don't really understand until they are put in a situation where somebody who looks like them or somebody who they have something in common with is in that same situation. Then it's like, oh shit, now I finally understand. Then it's like, oh, now I finally get it. I was ignorant the whole time. Because like with the Ahmaud Arbery case, and like I said, it was a very interesting day to be able to discuss all this, because obviously Ahmaud Arbery's case was also about self-defense.
Right.
But
here's my thing. It was self-defense, but he was running.
That you three are now trying to claim self-defense when you were the threat to him. And that's how it was. It can't be. We can't view this as you guys were threatened by him when he was the one who was threatened by you. He was the one going about his day jogging, which everybody does. I see white women jogging around Hollywood all the time.
Crazy?
Nobody's going to be like, "Oh, why are you here? Like, why are you around here?
And you know what's crazy?
What?
You know what's crazy to that? It's because of stuff like that. Like, I'm not even going to lie. I don't jog at certain times because of that stuff like that. Like, and it's weird. Like, I see people jogging at night. I'm like, dang, they must be nice. But I would not jog. Like, I don't jog early in the morning or late at night.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm not.
For my own safety, not just because.
And that's crazy to think about.
You could try some shit.
And it's crazy to think about.
But just because I might get lynched as well. It's like random people just want to lynch me.
And that's funny. Like, I had, like, So basically, when this whole thing started, this whole Black Lives Movement started, all like everything when it started bubbling up with the what's his name, Trayvon case, whatever. And I remember being in college, and I had this lady that I worked with, and she's a nice lady, nicest heart. She's not racist at all. Like, I don't believe that she's racist at all. She, at least for me, she's been the nicest lady ever. But anyway, she was like, I don't understand the Black Lives Matter movement and all that. And don't my life matter? I was like, well, listen, yeah, but I gotta ask you a question. If your son went for a walk at 8 o'clock at night and didn't come home, do you have that worry or do you have that fear? Do you have that worry or do you have that fear that if your son goes walking or out and about past a certain time in this town that's all white, do you have a fear that they might or may not come back home?
Yeah.
Or if they get stopped by a police officer, do you have to have that kind of talk with them, like, this is how you whatever? And she was just like, oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah, literally just that. Like, your son goes running for a run or whatever early in the morning, and he gets shot by somebody. So yeah, your life matters, but it's not about saying all lives matter, or it's not about one life is better than
only
the other.
Black lives matter. No, exactly.
It's about seeing people and understanding that, hey, there's a difference. There's a inequitable difference between races and how people are treated.
Facts.
Based on their color of skin. And that's what I explained to her. And she was like, she got it. She was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And that's basically what this is.
And that's all people are trying to say. Like, and that's what always bugs me when, like, certain Americans, you know, whether white Americans or other certain groups of Americans are like, oh, black people, this, that, this fear, blah, 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 it's not a real thing, whatever. And I'm like, you guys do understand that sundown towns were a thing.
Apparently there are some still alive.
Yes, and sundown towns are still a thing in the United States. As a black person, if you are found there, you will likely end up dead the next day.
Not dead, but you'll be harassed.
They're still a thing. You would be harassed or killed. They could lynch you. They could hide the evidence, and nobody would ever know who killed you.
Right.
Sundown towns are still a thing. So when you say this is a post-racial America, or this is the kind of country that when Kamala Harris says this isn't a racist nation, I'm like, if this isn't a racist nation, then why would people tolerate such a horrible thing, such as a sundown town? And how does that make sense?
Here's my thing. The whole thing with, oh, this is a racist country. I don't feel like Americans in general, like, or, oh, we're racist. But I do feel like we have racist biases.
Racist tendencies. Yeah.
Yeah, based on, like, the structures in which we've had to.
Yes.
Whatever. And so, is America racist? I feel like
the vast majority of the country isn't. I'm just going to say this.
Let me say this. Yes and no. Yes and no. I would say this. There are foundations in place that we still have to get over before we can be like move forward. And racism is so embedded in our society that it's hard to rebuild the society. That's why we are where we are, because the racism, hateism, and all these isms are so embedded in our culture and our society that we're trying now to like get over those things. And that's why you see all these things with people coming forward and saying, hey, this ain't cool. This is trying to live with each other. So yeah, you have those things, but I think by large, we see now in we see more people that are trying to move forward than backwards, which is something I like. But like I said, yes and no. Yes and no. There are systems in place that people buy into, but I understand. I also, when you live with something so long, you start, okay, maybe I need to check myself and check now. It's kind of, all right, cool. Is that I'm racist for doing this, or am I hateful for doing this?
Yeah.
So yeah, America and its construct is racist, but I don't think by large I don't feel like let me scratch that. I do feel like there are racist people.
Yeah.
And I do feel like there are racist systems. But I do feel like we are trying to move towards a place where all those racism and hateism and all those different groups, I do feel like we are trying, like even throughout society, we're trying to get that. And it's just, still a little old guard there in groups that are trying to hold on to that. But I feel like they're slowly losing their power, and that's what's making all these people mad. And everybody's talking about, oh, council culture this, council culture that. Yeah, sometimes it does get annoying, but I do get it because from their perspective, they're losing their power.
Yeah, and they're lashing out. Yeah, which is precisely what it is, and that's why this verdict, the Rittenhouse verdict, is bad because, in my personal opinion, you're giving vigilantism the okay. Well, you're telling people that it's okay to be vigilantes.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing, and this what I'm gonna say about that, and this is what I'm gonna end. The moment y'all decided that you wanted to change the narrative on people committing treason and saying they was just trying to fight for their country, is the moment you really decide, okay, cool, we're still trying to hold this power.
Yeah, it's about us.
So yeah, like I said, is America racist? Yes and no.
It's a two-edged answer. Yeah,
it really is, because it's one of those. We have the systems in place, and then we still have that old guard who's still in those positions to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna hold on. But at the same time, we have a new guard and we have a new ideology that wants to do better, and can do better. But we have a lot of uphill battles to climb within ourselves to do that. So yeah, America, it might be racist, but we can get better.